Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jana Duggar shares disheartening moments before marrying. Counting on alum, Jana Duggar expresses her past struggles in a new interview. The 34-year-old has been celebrating her wedding with Stephen Wisman. The two tied the knot on August 15 in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Jana and Stephen had 500 guests, many of whom were family members. But despite all the celebrations, Jana can't help but recall one of the hardest and disheartening parts of her life. Keep reading to see her shocking statements. Counting on. Jana Duggar shares struggles with Stephen Wisman. According to Jana, it hasn't been an easy journey for her and Stephen. She revealed that they'd only reconnected earlier this year after suffering from so many ups and downs. The Counting on alum said that they separated during the time Stephen's sister, Hannah, married Jeremiah Duggar. However, they remained in touch, and Jana appreciated all his efforts to prove his love. Jana and Stephen were rumored to be in a relationship in 2020. Photos of them have surfaced online. The oldest Duggar daughter even spent Christmas Eve with the Wisman family, fueling the speculations even further. Things suddenly went silent between them when Josh Duggar was arrested for CSAM in 2021. Jana shares disheartening moments before marrying. Jana recently opened up about how disheartening it was for her to stay as the oldest single Duggar for many years. According to the Counting on alum, she initially saw it as a blessing, as she could do many things married people couldn't do at her age. She tried to look for the positive, but she couldn't hide the fact that she may not be able to spend the rest of her life with anyone. Jana Duggar also admitted that she has dated around before Stephen Wisman, but nothing ever came to fruition. It even came to a point where she began to suspect that she was the problem, adding that her journey has been disheartening at times. Counting on. Jana Duggar and Stephen Wisman's long-distance relationship. During the same interview, Jana revealed that their strong faith played a significant role in their relationship. According to the former Counting on star, they're so happy to be able to spend time together after being in a long-distance relationship for quite some time. Being able to just have someone that you do everyday life. It's a sweet time that I've hoped for and wanted for a while. She added, it's known that Stephen Wisman lives in Nebraska. He's also a pilot who moves around countries from time to time. Jana Duggar had always been the quiet yet steady presence in the Duggar household, the eldest daughter who bore the weight of responsibility with grace. Known for her calm demeanor, soft-spoken wisdom, and a life lived under the glare of reality TV, Jana's journey to marriage had been a topic of speculation for years. But despite the constant questions from fans and media, she had remained unmarried long after many of her younger siblings had tied the knot. It was a hot summer day when she finally sat down to address the persistent rumors and share her deeply personal journey towards marriage. In a heartfelt blog post titled Disheartening Moments Before Marrying, Jana opened up in a way she never had before. For the first time, she allowed the world to glimpse the emotional battles she had fought privately. Battles that had often left her feeling disheartened, overwhelmed, and at times utterly alone. The pressure of being a Duggar. The Duggars were no strangers to public scrutiny, with their lives broadcasted on television for over a decade. Fans of 19 Kids and Counting and later Counting On had watched Jana grow up. And, as each of her siblings left the nest to marry, the focus naturally shifted to her. For years, Jana had fielded endless questions about when her turn would come. When are you getting married, Jana? Isn't it time you settle down? Don't you want children? While she had always responded with a smile, those questions weighed heavily on her heart. It wasn't just the public asking, she revealed in her blog. There was this unspoken expectation within the family, too. I love my parents dearly, but being the eldest daughter came with a lot of responsibility. I was expected to help raise my younger siblings, maintain the household, and provide support to my brothers and sisters. But in doing so, I began to feel like I was losing a piece of myself. Jana admitted that it was hard to see her younger siblings getting married while she remained single. It wasn't jealousy, she wrote, but more of a feeling of being left behind, like everyone else was moving forward with their lives while I was standing still. Love, but no courtship. Over the years, rumors swirled about Jana's love life. She had been linked to various men, from family friends to other prominent figures in their religious community. But none of these rumors ever resulted in a formal courtship, let alone an engagement. Jana confessed that the constant gossip only made things harder. There were times when I felt like a failure, like something was wrong with me because I hadn't found the one yet. She shared a particularly vulnerable moment from her early 20s. There was a time when I genuinely believed I had met the man I was going to marry. We had a deep connection, shared the same faith and values, and I truly thought this was God's plan for me. But as things progressed, I began to realize that while he was a good man, he wasn't the right man for me. It was one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make, but I ended the relationship. Jana's heart was heavy after that breakup, not because she regretted her decision, but because she feared she had missed her only chance. For a long time, I believed that maybe I had made a mistake, that I had turned down the only man who would ever love me. The turning point. Jana's turning point came during a trip to Europe with her sister Duggar. It was supposed to be a fun, relaxing getaway, a chance for the sisters to bond and explore new cultures. But for Jana, it became so much more. One night in Switzerland, we were sitting by a lake, just watching the sunset, Jana recalled. Duggar turned to me and said, "You know, Jana, it's okay if you never get married. It's okay if God has a different plan for you than he does for the rest of us." Those words hit Jana like a revelation. I had spent so many years believing that marriage was the ultimate goal, the thing I had to achieve in order to be truly happy. But in that moment, I realized that my worth wasn't tied to my relationship status. I could have a fulfilling life without a husband or children. I can pursue my passions, grow in my faith, and find joy in the life I was already living. A season of waiting. After her trip, Jana entered what she called a season of waiting. She didn't rush to find a partner or pressure herself into a relationship. Instead, she focused on her family, her faith, and her personal growth. She started new hobbies, traveled more, and even considered moving out of her parents' home, something that had always seemed impossible in the Duggar family dynamic. "I found a sense of peace in that waiting period," she wrote. "It wasn't easy, and there were days when I felt disheartened, like I would never find someone. But I trusted that God had a plan for me, even if I couldn't see it yet." Meeting him, Jana's patience was eventually rewarded. In the most unexpected way, she met a man who shared her faith, her values, and most importantly, respected her as an individual. "He wasn't someone I expected," Jana admitted with a smile in her blog post. "He wasn't part of our circle, and he didn't grow up with the same traditions. But he loved me for who I am, not for what I could do for him or for our family. And that made all the difference." They took their time getting to know each other, building a foundation of trust and mutual respect. It was so different from anything I'd experienced before. There was no pressure, no timeline. We were just two people who enjoyed each other's company and wanted to see where it would lead. The disheartening moments before, despite finding love, Jana had admitted that the moments leading up to her marriage were filled with doubt and fear. "I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared," she wrote. "After so many years of waiting, I began to question whether I was truly ready. I wondered if I was making the right choice or if I had waited so long that I'd forgotten how to be in a relationship." The most disheartening moment, she confessed, came just days before the wedding. "I sat in my room, staring at my wedding dress, and I thought, am I really ready for this? Is this what I want? For so long, I had dreamed of this day, but now that it was here, I wasn't sure if I could go through with it." Finding strength. In the end, Jana found strength in her faith and in the love she shared with her fiancé. "I realized that it was okay to feel disheartened, to have doubts. But what mattered was that I had faith in the journey God had set before me. Marriage wasn't going to be easy, but I knew that with love, patience, and trust in God, we could face anything together." With a heart full of hope and love, Jana Duggar stepped into her future as a wife, knowing that the path to get there, while disheartening at times, had been worth every step.